How's it going, everyone? Today's video will be a bit different, as the hip-hop aspect of Joey Jewish will be taking a backseat to the R&B aspect of this artist. If all you've heard from Joey Jewish is something like Poison, you might not be convinced of his singing power. Let's clear that up first with two examples, the first one from a song called The Fear, and the second one from a song called Beautiful Solitude. Having cleared that up, we've absolutely got a singer on our hands, and he's different from the multitude of rappers that sing but don't excel at it. So, can Joey Jewish breathe life into the treasured but dying genre of R&B? Alright guys, let's get right into this. To start us off, let's think, why is R&B dying? It's a peculiar case with this genre. Once a richly thriving universe of insanely talented African Americans, the genre has recently been on a noticeable decline. Many artists who once dabbled in it have either found comfort in the greener world of neo-soul or have adapted to trends by making music with noticeable EDM or pop influences. Usher, Chris Brown, Beyonce, Drew Allen, Jordan Armstrong, I could really go on. An artist named Abib's last album was pretty pure in that aspect, but that had much more of a neo-soul edge to it. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Neo-soul is clearly in good hands and will continue to be a hubbub for black talent. However, R&B has met such a different fate. People often say it's dying, but unlike hip-hop, it's nowhere near as popular. People say all sorts of things about hip-hop, but at the end of the day, many new hip-hop artists are getting known worldwide and continuing to grow. R&B is much quieter though, often being treated like a side piece to go along with a good hip-hop song. You know, that great singer who does the hook on a rapper's song. R&B seems to sit in the shadow of hip-hop these days, and so it's hard for a singer to be taken seriously amidst a sea of rappers. Joey Jewish is one of the first of his kind with this ability to legitimately croon at 1 second and then smack you upside the head with bars the next. Bryson Tiller has a similar ability, but I do believe Joey has the edge due to his choice to glorify God in his music. On one hand, he has favor from God, but from another angle, this means his music actually has wholesome content, something very important to R&B. Yes, R&B is often associated with love, but that's the key element. R&B used to be primarily concerned with love. Artists would inspire their listeners with this anticipation of finding love, that one person they could get through thick and thin with. There was romance, there was mystique, there was the adventure and joy of having a friend who was also a lover. All of these things mostly missing from current R&B music, which has mostly been completely focused on sex, drugs, and money. The core of what R&B is has been heavily lost, and I think this contributes a lot to why the genre can be seen as a shell of its former self. So then, what exactly is it about Joey's music that harkens back to R&B in its prime? This leads us to our second point, that Joey Jewish's music is, as I said before, wholesome. Now, the impression I get overall from his music is that he's a Christian, and he seeks to honor God with how he expresses himself. This seems to seep into every aspect of his presentation. When he sings, you feel the conviction that he actually feels or stands by what he's saying. Remember that Beautiful Solitude sample I showed you guys? In it, he says the following, "On this ledge I sit, it's on this ledge I live," bellowing it at the top of his lungs in a lonesome but passionate way. Joey feels that he is constantly high up, and you could take this as him feeling he could fall any day. He sings it so powerfully because every day he strives to stay balanced up there, and it's a battle, but he's remaining steadfast in the lifestyle he's chosen. So few words, yet incredibly strong emotions that resonate thanks to his voice. R&B has a capacity to convey so much with voice alone. R&B doesn't always have to be about love. And at its core, the genre celebrates and laments the powerful emotions that come with life. In his song called Ride, Joey details the feelings of love and affection for his wife. During his verse, he often breaks out into moments of heartfelt singing, and the song's beat all in all feels like a contemplative love poem. He doesn't have to detail any explicit physical activity to convey his dedication to this woman. He simply croons the line, "I just need to know if you're riding." We can tell how he feels because of how many times he repeats this line. It means a great deal to him that this woman is committed to stay with him, that she's willing to go through thick and thin with him. The song oozes with that feeling of excitement that you get from making yourself vulnerable to someone you have romantic feelings for. Will they accept you for who you are and be willing to grow and change with you? Again, even the beat itself has this feeling of anticipation or nervousness. It's as dramatic as a moment like this would feel in real life. It feels good, wholesome with no need to be vulgar or crude. It focuses on love, rather than physically acting on feelings of attraction. Then we have what is perhaps my favorite example, a song called Higher. This was a single that came sometime after his Beautiful Solitude album. The first ear-grabbing thing about this song is the soundscape. The beat gives this idea of being up in the clouds, but when combined with the distant and dark colors of the clouds in the cover, it creates this sense of a supernatural experience. Joey isn't just daydreaming with the sunshine on him. God is displaying the awe-inspiring beauty in what he created, and Joey is swept away by it all. Joey is high up, but when the sky looks like this, he knows there's someone higher up. He wants to be taken even higher, so that he can see the face of the one who is his everything, the one who inspires these feelings of real love. The track is laced with dreamy vocals, floaty melodies created by his voice that further accentuate this message. Again, R&B as a genre was amazing at using powerful emotions to portray experiences, rather than being explicit. He laments this line with conviction, "I don't deserve." And it's something that many Christians can relate to. None of us are worthy of what God allows us. Despite the overall lack of bars in this song, I find it to still be one of his deepest and most emotional. A truly amazing callback to what made R&B so soulful and powerful. I think Joey Jewish clearly understands what R&B is supposed to be at its core, and this is why when he sings, it's exceptionally powerful and filled with meaning through emotion, rather than many words. Recently, I read a really great article from Rapzilla talking about a growing force of Latino artists in hip-hop, and I remember seeing Joey on the list. Latinos and blacks often went through similar struggles, particularly in American history. So I think if there were any group of peoples to be able to innately understand R&B, it would be the peoples who struggled alongside blacks in parts of the USA's history. Well then, if we've seen why R&B is losing its strength as a genre, and why Joey Jewish understands what R&B is supposed to be, then can Joey Jewish actually keep R&B alive? I mean, yeah. Yes, he can. Sorry if that was anticlimactic, but Joey really has got a grasp on what R&B is at its core, and he has the vocal capacity to act on that understanding. Granted, there's most likely plenty of other singers that understand what R&B originally was, and are making their own efforts to keep the genre alive. Joey Jewish has an edge, however, because he can rap quite excellently. He can automatically gain the respect of the hip-hop community because of his bars, so when he sings, he's not seen as the guy you put on your hooks so he can sing something catchy. Ruslan understood this, and that's probably why you hear Joey Jewish simultaneously singing and rapping in the hook of Ruslan's Raw Sugar song. He's taken seriously, and has the support of the hip-hop community if he so chose to use it. While this is all nice on a theoretical level, the biggest problem is still there. We don't know that Joey Jewish actually wants to keep R&B alive. That in and of itself is certainly a task, and Joey strikes me more as the kind of artist to do what he's feeling at the moment, rather than to stick to an idea like revive R&B. If he wants to make an R&B song, he will, and if he wants to make something bouncy like Poison, he probably will. Of course, I have no idea how he actually feels, but this sort of thing is nonetheless really fun to discuss. As always, I want to hear what you all think as well. Do you like Joey Jewish's R&B elements as much as his raps? Would you like to see more singing from him? Let me know all of this and more in the comments below. Thanks for watching everyone, and until next time, peace out.